Hey guys, Wolfdanthegamer here, and today this will be my first episode of Wolfdan's opinion on the year 2019. And today's game of this episode will be Jotun, and I have a lot to say about this game. So anyway, let's talk about it. So my first reaction to this game is, well, I actually got this game for free one time when I was browsing through Steam one day. I forgot what day it is, so I'm not going to explain it. And yes, it'll be unedited in terms of audio. The visual is going to be edited, but the audio is going to be unedited because I try to work this out a bit, but I realized, yeah, you know what, I'll do one shot like I normally talk about, so fuck it. If I go off focus, then that's my problem because that's the way I talk about video games, so try to tolerate this a bit. I'll try to keep it focused a bit. Alright, let's talk about the story to start things out. Well, you play as Fura, a female Viking warrior who goes on a journey after dying a unwarrior-like death, apparently. Apparently, she died on a shipwreck, so that doesn't count as a warrior death, so, okay. But thankfully, the gods say, hey, we'll give you a chance to enter Valhalla, but you have to kill these 5 Jotun. And, spoiler alert, I only killed 4. Oh, no. Technically, it's 3. I killed 3. But the 4th one I couldn't beat. So, I'll assume you go to Valhalla and eat steak and drink all types of ale and stuff, and that's it. And eat golden apples. So, that's all I can explain about the story. Okay, I will say out of the gate, visually, it looks fantastic across the entire board. And the backgrounds look fantastic. I think they're well drawn, and nothing seems dated or even out of place. And the color is actually naturalistic, to say at least. There's no added filters or any color adjustment that looks noticeable, and there's actually some great use out of the wide pan zooming. You know, when they're zooming out. The gameplay video will probably show it off a bit more, but it actually looks pretty nice, and it also shows off the scale and the depth of the image, and also shows off the backgrounds, which I think is pretty nice, to say at least. And the level variety is actually pretty good. You go through a forest, a dwarven mining cave. You actually walk across the roots of a actual Yggdrasil tree, and you also walk around storm clouds, which actually looks pretty nice with the starry background and stuff. And you walk through the branches of a giant tree, which I think is pretty cool. And visually, I will say the giant tree section was pretty amazing, and I actually love it, by the way. So, and all the bosses are beautifully designed, and I love the death animations because they're actually pretty great across the board. And Theora, the character herself, actually has some nice touches, the way she carries her axe. I thought it was dragon for a sec, but after a closer look at it, I realized, oh, she was carrying the axe. Okay, she has some arm strength to her, so that makes sense. I also like every time she moves, her fur coat is flapping a bit every time she moves a bit. So I thought that was a really, really nice touch. And also there's some some facial expression, but it's not well detailed enough. But that's not a problem for me personally. So every time she slams her axe, also every time the axe is slammed. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about every small detail, but this game looks fantastic across the board. Also, there's no hiccups on the game whatsoever, so there's no frame rate problems or even graphical glitches or stuff like that. So I'll give the developers props. It looks fantastic. So let's talk about the gameplay. And the gameplay is pretty much, it's more linear. It's a linear-based game. So you pretty much the main gist of it. You have to collect these runes so you can fight the Jotun. And once you and the main focus of it is you don't fight too many enemies in the game other than the Jotun. Jotun on the main threat. Everything else is more of an obstacle, at least. I'm not going to try to explain every single obstacle because what's the point? It'll be spoiling it anyway. So I will say all of them are beatable, at least. But I will say you do gain powers by fighting these statues of the gods that are helping you in this journey. But you can only use these powers 2 times, which is, a bit limited, but it's reasonable enough. In terms of fighting the bosses, you actually have to use them, though. Alright, and the powers are, there's a heal ability, which gives you a reasonable amount. The shield power, which is, it's okay at best. It does repel damage, though. Excuse me. And there's a distraction ability, which acts as a bomb. But I never use it that much because there's really not much use other than the Dwarven Caves and the second boss. Because that's where I really took advantage of it. And there's a speed boost, which is actually pretty good. And it's very handy to get through to survive attacks and stuff. Or dodge attacks. It is a limited use, though. And also force power, which I never got many chances to use this as much. You also collect golden apples, which extend your life a bit. And it's very helpful. And you really need them. You really need these apples. Because, trust me, these bosses are very difficult. However, the first few bosses I can beat with no issues. Because each boss has different abilities and stuff that is easy to decipher. The second boss took me three tries to beat. That's only because I got swarmed by the dwarves. And the third boss is a pushover. I say that because the only difficult thing about it is the ground turns into ice, and a blizzard comes in and screwing my sight. But even then, I was able to beat it without dying, which is nice. However, the fourth boss is a fucking dick. He's a dick. I'll tell you the reason why. First of all, he has his lightning beam attack, which is easy enough to dodge. But it also lights up these little crystal thingies, or these lightning reactors. And if you hit them all, you actually stun the boss, which was actually pretty cool. But then, all of a sudden, soon he goes into a fit of fucking madness, which angers Thor from the Marvel comic universe. That pisses him off so much because it drove him insane of his laughing to send fucking thunderbolts in the attempt to fucking kill the fucking boss for me. But nope, they decided to target me instead. Why? Or eventually, after you do like enough damage, you do enough damage, these bosses go to a separate phase. Yeah, every boss does that, and that's fine. I can tolerate it. But this is where I start to lose my mind, because he splits into two entities. And they both have the same abilities. And also, not to mention, those lightning reacting things, they spew lightning that actually hurts you. I'm like, why? That's like bullshit. And I couldn't get and the second time, I died before that boss is split the second time. So, the game, up to this point, I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to play this game again. So, I quit the game here. So, overall, I really did not enjoy the game to a point. And I will say, sound effect wise, it's pretty good. The axe sounds were pretty, I think the slashes are pretty good. And the voice acting is great because, reason why, because it's in another language. And fortunately, there's subtitles, so I don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that. And I really liked it. I have nothing to say about it because I'm not a story person. I'm more of a gameplay person. But I will say voice acting is pretty great across the board. And sound effects wise, it's pretty good. I have no problems with that. I never encounter a sound that determines as bad or not. So I have no problems with that. So overall, Jotun is a fantastic visual game, but gameplay wise, it's solid. But however, it does have a point. I don't know. I just couldn't beat the fourth boss, and I really, really struggled at it. And I really tried. But up to this point, after going through those sections and stuff, I was like, I'm tired of this. So overall, the game's pretty good. The game's good, but nothing great. I will say fantastic. I will say visual department wise, it's fantastic across the board. So I have no problems with that. It does have a unique art style, I will say, and I will think you get some enjoyment out of this game. So overall, it's nothing right home. It's nothing to write home about gameplay wise, but visually it looks fantastic. So I will say the game's worth getting, but do not pay full price for this game because I will say, gameplay wise, you're not getting much out of it anyway. So So overall, that's it for the episode for today. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of 2019. There are more games I am planning to do in the future, and I'm also going to try to work on trying to get older titles to run, or record, if I can find a way to get them record directly off of the monitor, rather than using the camera to work them. So I will try to. This will be what I'm gonna. This is what the series is gonna be about. It's gonna be unedited, just me talking about games, because that's what I do in real life. I sometimes when I think about the games, I think, oh, okay, sometimes it works this way, sometimes it doesn't work this way. I will try to make it a bit focused sometimes, but I'm not making guarantees here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode for today, and please comment below on what games you want me to talk about, or you want to talk about your experience with this game and stuff like that. But I really don't care, because this is more of a first impressions / opinion series rather than a full-on review, because that's what it is for me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe for more Wolfdan opinion episodes, and also other stuff I tend to do. And be sure to like and comment. So have a Wolftastic day, everyone, and see you all on the next Wolftastic opinion. Bye bye.